I am actually going live for the first time on Amazon. Actually just found out about it last night. So I wanted to jump right in and basically show you guys some of my favorite coffee products, my coffee gadgets that I absolutely love. So I figured I'd start out with like a demonstration of the Mocha Master. And if any of you need any details or anything like that, I'd be happy to provide some information, but I'm going to show you how it works. And if you have any questions, just let me know. I do have a few really neat coffee gadgets that I'm going to be going over in this video. So just keep watching and I will do demonstrations for all of them. Okay, so this is the, let me see here, let me give you some details on this. This is the KBGT model. It is the largest, one of their largest models for just like your regular standard home coffee makers. I will say that this is definitely some of the best coffee brewed at home that I have personally ever had. It does meet the gold cup standards in Europe, which is really awesome. Now, one thing to note about this is a very solid, durable machine. It is going to last you a very, very long time. They're actually handmade in the Netherlands. So the quality is really good. Definitely a very standard container, standard metal or sturdy metal container. One of the things I do want to mention is that all of the like accessories like this is plastic, but it's pretty solid. Like I have had this machine in particular for over 3 years now, and nothing has cracked or got broken or anything like that. I have yet to replace anything. However, I have been told that you can easily replace these parts and they're pretty inexpensive, so that's good. So I'll just show you first. Everything comes apart. The carafe right here, I opted for metal because for me, I feel like glass, I would probably end up breaking it. So I wanted something that I didn't have to worry about. Now this does come with two tops. This is the top that I'm using today. You don't really need to change it. The other one's just kind of like a ceiling top. But this is the one that the coffee brews through. And there is also a lip at the bottom here. You just want to make sure that you place that down, and that's so you can sit the carafe basically on there. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. I do have some water, and I will say that I do use filtered water. Texas is very, very crazy. Like the water is crazy. It's very, very high mineral, so it's a very hard water, and so I can't just use tap water. Now, my suggestion is that if you guys have like a filter, like a built-in filter and a water softener, then obviously that would be even better. Cleaning, so I do use one of those decalcifying or descaling, I should say. And it's basically just like the liquid. Mocha Master recommends a couple different brands. I believe Full Circle you can get right here on Amazon, and that's actually what I've personally been using. But let's go ahead and test this out. I'm going to grab some water. And now I do have two Mocha Masters that I'm going to show you. I have this one right here, right? And you know, I have a smaller one, so I'm not going to fill this up all of the way. Let's just do like a little 2 cup. Put this over here. And, okay. So these filters, if you guys want to see them, I'll show you what the box actually looks like. I am actually almost done with these, but honestly, like You can get these on Amazon, but they do have like other brands and stuff like that. This one is specifically the Mocha Master, but if you look for like the number 4 filters, the cone filters, then obviously those are fine too. I just happen to have Mocha Master's brand. So we're just gonna go ahead and fit this in. Now, one little tip for you guys, one thing that I love to do because it helps the coffee beans bloom, is to take a little bit of water and to kind of like wet the filter right here. And that'll help like, it'll really help bring out the beans better. Okay. So, one thing I'll show you guys too. So this comes off right here. This piece right here. So if you guys want to like clean it or whatever, it does come off. It is metal. It has, these are actually like little silicone tips. And I'm just going to place that right on in there. Coffee, actually, I can do a little demonstration for you since I'm going to be needing to use my coffee grinder. I do use, I'll show you which brand. So I use Baratza. I'm going to move this out of the way. This is available on Amazon too. I have it listed below for you guys if you want to click on it. This is the Virtuoso, and I just did a little research and I wanted just a really good quality grinder. I wanted something that was going to last. And this does actually have numerous grinding settings. Actually, it goes all the way to number 40. So, you know, if you're looking at making espresso, or if you're looking at, you know, just making regular coffee, or you just like a finer grind, let's say for just like regular drip coffee, you have like multiple settings. And if you guys are wondering like what I set this on, so I had it initially set on 20 and you just literally turn like that, but I changed it to, I would say that's a 12. But yeah, it's a cute little grinder. You can obviously fit a good amount of beans in there in the hopper. This comes out, and I have actually the Mocha Master coffee scoop right here. So I need to plug this in, but you can do this one or two ways. So there is a button on this, well, on the front right here. You can push that, hold it in, and then it will grind, and you can, as soon as you let go, it will stop. Or if I turn this over here, there is actually a kind of like, it's, I don't know if it's, that's not necessarily a timer because it doesn't have like numbers on it. But if you turn this, it'll start grinding and then it'll automatically stop depending on how far out you wind this. So we'll test this out too. It is definitely noisy, but I mean, that's okay. I mean, I don't think there's any, I don't really know of any quiet grinders. If anybody knows of any quiet grinders, let me know in the comments. I mean, I would love to know if there is a quiet grinder out there because I have not found one yet. All right, so let's go ahead and plug this in, test it out. All right, so I am just going to show you briefly how to do both. First, I'm going to press this button right here. And so you see, as soon as I let go, it obviously automatically stops. Now with this right here, I'm going to turn it and it's going to stop. I can let go and it's going to stop on its own. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and just put this top right on here, and that should be enough. So for just something real small like that, I'm just literally gonna put, I'll probably put like 2 heaping, this is equivalent of like a tablespoon. So I'm gonna put 2 heaping tablespoons. I do like my coffee definitely kind of strong. So let's go ahead and add that in there. And obviously, so, I mean, for those that are just getting started with a coffee grinder, if you're used to buying already bought beans, there's nothing like an amazing cup of like freshly ground beans. So yeah. All right, so I'm gonna set this aside over here. I want you guys to be able to see if I can move this over for you guys. All right. Again, this just goes right on top of here. Just make sure that the little lid right here is secure. And one more feature I forgot to tell you guys. So I opted for the more expensive model, and that's actually the one below that I listed during this live. What I wanted basically was, let's say for instance, you have a lot of company, right? And you want to like basically start pouring cups before it's done brewing, like in the mid of the brew cycle. You can actually do that. So with this model anyway, okay? And because, I'll show you right here if you guys can see, it's when you pull this, hopefully you guys can see that. There's a little button right here. And this button basically stops the brew cycle. So if I take this away, I can start pouring and it will stop dripping. So it's a pretty convenient feature. I mean, to me, it was worth it because I knew that I was going to be needing to do that at some point, and is definitely proven to be a nifty little feature. So let's go ahead and start this. Now, one thing that I want to mention that's really nice with the Mocha Masters is that they brew in roughly under 5 to 6 minutes. I mean, depending, and again, it depends on how much coffee you're brewing, but with something like this, I mean, you're gonna see that it brews really, really quickly. A great thing about this, the reason why it meets that golden cup standard, is because it is able to saturate the beans the way they're supposed to be saturated, and it also perfectly heats the water at the perfect temperature for that amazing, wonderful, hot cup of coffee. So I'm seriously so amazed with this machine. I mean, after 3 years, it is still going strong. And there are times that I've brewed this multiple times a day. I don't have tons and tons of coffee, but if I have like company over, or if I just need like an extra cup, this has been used very, very frequently every single day. So yeah, so look at this. It's really, really neat because you can see the water just kind of like leaving the tank right here and going up. It's really awesome. It's actually almost done. Now, I think this would be a great time to introduce to you guys I have 2 frothers that I'm going to show you guys. I do have an addiction to coffee gadgets, so I figured it'd be like perfect to show you guys everything that I have. But yeah, so look at that. It's almost done. And for those of you, normally, I normally do like half and half. So I normally put half and half. And a lot of the times, like in the morning time, like first thing in the morning, I do have like a black cup of coffee. I literally don't put any sweetener in there. I don't put any milk or anything like that. But in the afternoon, I do like a little treat. So I might do something like a protein coffee, which is what I call. I know it sounds kind of crazy, but I'll show you guys how I make that using one of the products that I have. And actually, honestly, I'd love to test it out with a couple different products I have. But we'll get to that in a bit. At first, I just want to show you kind of like how this performs. And I mean, we'll do a little taste test. I know it's like the evening time, but I'm okay with drinking coffee at night. I'm okay with that in moderation, right? I mean, it's for the love of this Amazon demonstration, so I think it's okay to do that. Do I do that every day? Absolutely not. But I'm gonna do it tonight for you guys. So it looks like we're almost done, but let me show you here. All right, so I'm gonna pull this away, and you notice that it actually stops brewing, right? It's still got a little bit left, so I'm gonna put that back in there, let it kind of just finish its job. But as you can see, it works really, really well, that feature of being able to pull it away and stop the brew cycle, which is, it's pretty awesome. All right, it looks like that is pretty much done. Now, this is gonna be a little bit different from the other Mocha Master machine that I'm going to show you guys. You do wanna make sure that you turn this off, and it looks like it's done now, so we're gonna go ahead and shut this off. Now, the other Mocha Master machine that I'm going to show you shuts off by itself, but it doesn't have like this the feature right here where you pull it out, and it's basically just a free-form dripping or coffee drip maker. Okay, let's go ahead and look at how amazing this coffee is. You can tell. One thing I hate seeing, it's like if you go to like a cafe or something like that, or just like some place that just sells coffee and it's not like anything special, even like, I hate to even say this, but even like, you know, 7-Eleven or something like that, you know, if you ever have to get coffee there, it's just not going to be the same. And the coffee is like really usually, it's a very light texture. It almost looks like it has not enough beans in there. I don't know if you guys can see this or not. I'm going to try to let you guys see how nice and dark that is. But yeah. So the great thing about this Mocha Master is that it really does make a nice, pleasant cup of coffee. So I think for those that are familiar with, you know, like sweeteners, and you like to put a lot of sweeteners and stuff like that, this really doesn't need it. Like if you're truly wanting to test out what good quality coffee tastes like, this is a great machine for that. Like this is a good start for anybody. Even if you're not like a coffee connoisseur or anything like that, like you could definitely benefit from this. So very good, very good. I got a little lipstick on the side there. That's okay. Yeah, absolutely delicious. It's not like, and again, it depends on like the coffee beans that you use. Obviously, if you get a coffee bean that's very high in acidity, that is going to matter as far as in like that kick or that taste. But yeah, this is absolutely amazing, and it's nice and hot. And that's another one of my pet peeves that I have. Coffee. So if I'm gonna brew coffee, then unless I'm purposely making it like ice or cold, I want it to be hot. I don't want it to be lukewarm. I don't want it to be room temperature. I want it to be like nice and hot. So yeah. So let's go ahead and set this aside. I am going to unplug this. I do want to show you guys this other Mocha Master machine, and we'll test that out. And then I'll move over and show you guys basically the two frothers that I have. Because I really want you guys to kind of like see everything together. We'll test out a couple of different features and see how they work. What I like to do is for cleanup, I just kind of like take this off and I wash this. Same thing with these tops here, or with this top, and I let this air out. There is no, as you can see, there wasn't a lot of like condensation buildup, but if you leave the top on, you'll definitely see like some buildup of condensation. So make sure you leave the top off in order to let it dry properly. Okay, so let's go ahead and move this over here. And I'd love to know, like, if you guys have any questions about the Mocha Master, or if you're thinking about, if you're thinking about getting the Mocha Master, then definitely let me know. If you have any questions about it, if you need to know specifics on anything. Again, I'm very pleased with this machine. All right, so now moving right along, we're gonna go ahead and pull out another favorite that I have. This, look how cute this is. So this is the Cup 1, the Technivorm Mocha Master Cup 1. And it is another, obviously they're all handmade in the Netherlands. But the thing that I love about this one is the fact that, let's just say you are not going to be brewing any more cups of coffee for the day. You just literally want a quick cup of coffee to just take and have on the go. Or just to have, you just want to make one cup of coffee, right? This is perfect for that. And actually, I've been using this a lot lately. So let me show you guys how this works. It's actually pretty awesome. Again, we will need to use the Baratza grinder. So for those that want to see that again, we'll do another little test for you. There's nothing like, I'll tell you what I love. In the morning time, nothing like the smell of fresh coffee. There's nothing like it. Like, even if you don't like coffee, I feel like the smell of coffee is just absolutely amazing. All right, so let's go ahead and get into this machine right here. Let's talk about the outside of it. Okay, so it's the same stainless steel. It's the same, this is actually the polished stainless steel. So again, the same plastic pieces. I have already put on, this is a different filter. So I know you guys probably want to see that. So let me grab one of those filters for you. Okay, grab some water. Now this filter, again, I don't know what other, I mean, there might be other brands that have this #1 coffee filter, but I did also get this from Amazon, and this, I believe it is, yeah, there's 80 of them in here, and I believe there's a couple places where you can buy like packs. So if you look on Amazon, there's a couple places on Amazon where you can buy like a couple of these at one time, just because instead of 100, there's 80 of them in here. So #1 filter is what you need for the Cup 1. So just remember that. Okay, so fairly simple, but let me show you how this comes apart. So this actually comes with this ceramic cup right here. This, and this comes off right here. This is like that silicone. It's just, if you want to take it off, you can. I would recommend doing that just to, you know, wash underneath of it a little bit. This piece comes off right here. This is just for to place the cup on, so you don't scratch up the nice polished metal here, or polished stainless steel. This does not come off, but this piece does right here. So just like the other Mocha Master, take it out just so you guys can see. Okay, so if you want to take it out and wash it, you can do that. One thing I love that I want to say, and that I didn't mention on the other machine, this piece right here. So someone had asked me a while back, does it collect condensation here? Because they were worried about like mold and stuff like that. And so surprisingly, no. The other machine, there's no condensation that collects in there. I don't know, they built it really, really well. They thought out a lot of this stuff. I mean, clearly they've been making these machines for years, so they definitely know what they're doing. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about this right here. Now this is a free form drip basket. So what that means is that you're going to have to, like, let's say you lift it up, there's no stopper here. So it's gonna keep flowing if you don't let it finish its job, if that makes sense. All right, and on here, I don't know if you can see, but there is a line, there's a little black line that they put on here to let you know where to fill up the cup. Where to fill up the reservoir. Now, I would definitely listen to that, because if you're I mean, this little basket right here is not going to hold a lot. So this is strictly for a 6-ounce cup of coffee. All right, so let's go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and put some water in here and fill it up to the line. I know you guys are all about the demonstrations, so we'll go ahead and do that now. And again, I'm gonna put a little water in this to help with the coffee bloom, bring up the coffee beans even more. Not that Mocha Master does, I mean, not that they need really any help. This machine doesn't need any help, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Okay. Same thing. Since this is brewing 1 single cup, I'm just gonna put in like 2 of these. And I wanna show you something else that this comes with that I didn't even know because I was so anxious. I ordered this machine, right? And I was so anxious to get it. I was just like, you know what? I want the cup one. I'm just gonna go ahead and order it. I didn't pay attention to any of the stuff that comes with it. I didn't even know, because I didn't even read. I literally just ordered it. But I didn't even know that it came with this cup. But the cool thing is that it does come with a box of the filters, which I went through pretty quickly because I've been using this every single day, probably 2 times a day. But I will say that I'm definitely impressed with it. It's a very good machine. All right, let's talk a little bit first. I do want to mention something. Now, on the bottom right here, the opening is very small for the coffee drip, so you want to make sure that nothing's blocking it. Sometimes I'll take one of those, I don't know what they're called. They're like one of those flossing things, those plastic flossing sticks or whatever, and I'll make sure that that's clear and cleared out with that. That has actually helped any debris, any coffee beans or anything that might be stuck in that opening. It clears all of that out. So just be careful with that. I do want to say that because this is one of those free flow coffee baskets. So just make sure you're keeping that opening free and clear. All right, let's go ahead. We'll test it out. Now, this is going to shut off on its own. So you don't need to worry when it's done brewing and heating the water up, it literally shuts off on its own, but then you've got to wait obviously for the coffee to fully drip in the cup. So we're gonna go ahead and turn that on and wait and see. And I'll show you guys a difference too. You know, for those that are wondering, does it look any different? I might have put a little bit more beans in this cup right here when I was brewing because I used like those 2 heaping tablespoons. But we'll see. We'll see how it turns out. And then coming up, we'll talk about the first coffee frother. No, not coffee frother, milk frother. I have 2 different kinds of milk that I want to show you guys frothing because it definitely matters. For those that are familiar with coffee frothers and milk, whole milk is always going to froth much creamier, much better, much fluffier because of the fat content. However, just to be fair, I wanted to show you guys what non-fat milk looks like too, because I know some of you are wondering, well, any frother can do well with whole milk, right? So to be fair, I wanted to show you guys just like the different milks. So not too bad. It's already almost empty there. It's coming down. You can see it. I don't know if you guys can see the water going down, but it's already starting to empty. Again, another good quality machine if you're looking for something that is, you know, going to last you. I mean, I'm definitely happy. Honestly, I'm so happy with this machine. I'm so happy with the first one that I had to order another different kind from the same company. So yeah, I absolutely love them. But I'm definitely hoping that this helps some of you, these demonstrations help some of you decide if you're thinking about the Mocha Master and wondering, you know, does it perform well? Hopefully this is helping you guys out. So while that's brewing, while that's finished, and I don't know, did it turn off already? Okay, so watch for that, right? It's gonna automatically shut off. But let's go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and grab the first milk frother that I have. It's really pretty. And so yeah. Okay, now I first just want to say that this is just beautiful. It really is beautiful. If you click on the link that I provided for you guys for Amazon for this Smeg, it's by Smeg, for those that are wondering. It's an Italian company, so that's a good plus as well. All right, so there you go. I don't know if you guys missed that, but it just shut off by itself. But that doesn't mean that it's not done filling up the cup. It's still, basically it's all of the water, all of the beans that are getting saturated, they're still making its way down into the cup. So you want to leave that on there until it's literally done. Because remember, if you pull that away, it's still gonna be pouring all over the place. Let's talk about this a little. Now, this does come in a few different colors. The top comes off. This is able to handle powders too. So in other words, this makes hot cocoa. It specifically says that you can take this top off, like you really kind of have to, there you go. You can take the top off and you can pour like your cocoa powder in, but me, I bodybuild, so I use whey protein. I've been putting whey protein powder in here with a little bit of sweetener, and I make like a protein latte, and it handles the protein powder, which is really awesome. You do want to be careful again because it's not it's not a blender, right? So just be easy on the powders if you're going to put in some powders. This right here, so I honestly have never used this, but it does have like it's like it's a measuring, I don't know what you want to call this, but the top measures basically 30 milliliters, 1 fluid ounce, and 10 milliliters. It's got a little line for both of them on there. But like I said, I haven't used them, so all right, let's talk a little bit about this right here. Now, there are two, this comes out, okay? And I do like this because it's a handle where you're not going to burn yourself or anything like that. This attachment right here, or piece, or whatever you want to call it, it is one of those little whiskers. It whisks the coffee and or the milk or whatever. I will show you a little demonstration of my favorite drink that I make in here. But all right, so this right here, this is for whisking. So this is the piece right here that froths the milk. Okay, and I will tell you, I really appreciate that this is not metal. For any of you that are familiar with like those milk frothers that have like the little metal wire whisk, it is not stainless steel, and at least every one that I've had is not stainless steel. And so I don't know why it isn't, but it always seems to like rust on me. So yeah, so I do like the fact that this is plastic. It's it's got a magnet in here, so it sticks in there, it sticks to the bottom, which is great. It does come with another piece, and I do have to grab that for you guys because I do want to show you that. I feel it's important to show you as well. Okay, so this is a non-whisking piece. So if you're just looking at just kind of like stirring the milk up, this is not going to froth it. It's just going to mix it. So if you're looking at just like heating the milk, then you can put this little guy in here and take this other one out, and it'll just spin the milk for you and heat it at the same time. Now, the purpose of this whole demonstration is most likely you guys want to see frothing, right? So I'm going to show you two different milks with this Smeg. Let's start with, let's plug it in first. All right, so this is done. What I like to do is, just because it helps with lessen any spills or anything like that. Remember I said that this basket is a free flowing drip basket. So I just like to take that and make sure that I have this underneath here so nothing spills. And one thing I do want to note as well, so, you know, obviously, if you don't want to use this cup, you don't have to. There are other cups I'll show you. As a matter of fact, these fit quite nicely underneath here. See that? So, I mean, you can use kind of like a standard coffee mug. It's not going to fit one of those tall ones, obviously, you can see that. But it will fit one of these. So I'm going to move this aside. I do want to show you this machine, this Smeg. All right, so one thing to note, this does have one of those, it helps hide the cord, so it's got that cord wrap. So for those of you that maybe don't have a lot of counter space, or not counter space, but if you don't want to have your counter looking all crazy with, like, you know, this everywhere, then you can definitely wrap it up and it'll kind of like conceal that for you. So okay, got that plugged in. Let's talk a little bit about the features on here. So there is, if you turn the knob right here, there's one feature that's just, it's called like the hot chocolate feature. Or setting, let me say setting, that's what they're called, right? So that's just like for making and mixing hot chocolate. There's the first setting right here, which is basically just warming the milk. It's not going to froth it or anything like that. You do have the next setting right here, which is basically where it's heating and it's frothing lightly. So there is, and just to note here, there is no setting on temperature, so you can't actually pick the temperature that you want. And we'll go over another product where you can do that in just a second. So the next, if you turn the knob again, it's going to have another setting right here that is going to be like extra frothy. And I think that's the one that I'm going to show you guys because I want you to see like just how amazing this does. Okay, and then for those of you, if you turn the knob even more, for those of you that are interested in like those cold drinks, I am not personally a fan of cold coffee. I mean, I will have it like on occasion on a hot summer day or something, but for the most part, I love hot coffee or you know, if I'm gonna have coffee, I prefer it hot. So you've got like your cold setting where it doesn't heat the milk, but it froths it lightly. And then if you turn the knob again, it actually also has a double froth but cold setting. And then it has manual where you can control it on your own. You can stop and start it, you know, so. Anyway, we are gonna set it on the hot double froth setting. And we got that put in there. All right. I'm gonna first start out with, this is whole milk. But before I do that, so I wanna tell you guys, there's actually like a couple lines inside here. You're not gonna be able to see them on here, but there are some lines, basically the minimum that you need to fill in order for the machine to work, which is basically going to cover up that little whisk, okay? You wanna make sure that it's at least at that minimum line in order for it to even function properly at all. If not, it's gonna beep at you, so just to let you know. There's also a max where you wanna fill it up if you're gonna be frothing milk. So you know, obviously this will account for any like spilling or anything like that. It'll help prevent spilling. I have actually filled this up a little bit past that line, and it really depends on I mean, number one, the setting that you're going to be using. So if you're using double froth, I would probably pay more attention to that max froth line on, you know, on the inside of here. And then there's one more line basically for max for just stirring, and that's pretty much like right all the way up top there. So the other one is like down there. All right, so let's go ahead and try out. I'm just gonna fill this up to the minimum line. And I believe you have to push this twice. There we go. I'm really excited to show you how frothy this is. This is going to be really impressive. But I'll also show you like the non-fat, just to be fair, because I think we all know, you know, when you're dealing with coffee froth or when you're dealing with milk frothers, it's obviously, I mean, most milk frothers are going to be able to handle whole milk so much better and froth so much better than like non-fat milk because of the fat content. So to be fair, I want to show you guys non-fat milk as well. And then you guys can see if you like it, you know, maybe this is something you want to gift somebody or maybe gift yourself. But I've been really happy with it. I haven't had any issues. And I do use this every single day, so. I can feel it heating up nicely. And so obviously, you know, if you're not looking at heating up the milk, it is definitely going to be a lot quicker. But I feel like this heats it up at a perfect temperature, at least for me. For those that like it like super, super hot, it's not like burn your mouth hot or anything like that. So yeah, it's pleasantly hot. Warm, almost hot, if that makes sense. Which is honestly perfect for the protein powder. Like when I put protein powder in there, it can't be heated up super, super hot, or else it like coagulates and gets clumpy because of like the whey. So honestly, it's like the perfect temperature for how I like it. I feel like this is almost done. It's pretty hot. Cleaning, let's talk about cleaning while we're waiting on this. So cleaning, see, it beeped. So cleaning is pretty awesome because you literally can just soak everything in here. And because that whisk is made out of plastic and not metal, it's not going to rust. And so you can soak it in there with some hot soapy water. All right, so let's go ahead and see what this looks like. Obviously, if you don't like your milk as frothy as this, let me get a spoon so you guys can see this. It's pretty awesome. Look at that. That's pretty amazing. I mean, it literally looks like cream. All right. Last thing I want to show you guys with this right here. Oh, you know what? Second to last, because I want to show you guys that protein powder that I use. Let me wash this and we'll go ahead and try the non-fat milk. And this is, you know, again, I just want to make sure that I'm showing you guys all the features and being fair so you can really see how it performs. All right, so we got some non-fat milk. Again, I'm just going to fill this to the minimum line there. Just enough to make sure that the machine works properly. So same thing, same setting. Wait and see, I gotta grab, actually I do have to grab another cup because it looks like I'm pouring like a million things and I have like none left, so. Okay. I mean, I'll probably need another cup after this.